Hello and welcome to another Entropia Universe video. In today's video we're looking at the Divine Intervention bonus mission, which is a side mission to the mission Galactica epic mission chain. Mission. So, after completing Stage 6 on Mission Galactica, you should then be able to do the Divine Intervention bonus mission. However, at time of recording, the mission is kind of bugged in that if you selected the token as a reward at Stage 6, you will then not be able to do the Divine Intervention mission until Mindoc releases the patch, which should be coming up, I believe, next week from this video date. So the first mob I went to tackle was the 50-foot woman. It's the Divine Radiated 50-foot Vixen, and she lives on the Rocktropia lootable PvP zone. I'm going to be displaying the coords up on the screen now. The mob is a single maturity mob. It's just one instance of this. All of the divine mobs have the same HP. It's 5,470 HP, and as far as I can tell, they all have the same stats, which I will overlay on the screen for you throughout. So yeah, this was the Rocktropia mob. I wouldn't say it was a difficult mob, but I wouldn't also say it was an easy mob. The most challenging part with this mission is finding the mobs. The 50-foot woman was one of the more difficult ones because many people were hitting it and I was missing it each time. It seemed to spawn about every 5 hours, from what I could tell. Yeah, so not too challenging. It does provide a little bit of a challenge though. The next divine mob is the Tulan Thor Divine. So this was down in the Tulan PvP area. There's I believe only one PvP area in Tulan. He wasn't too difficult to find. I did have to wander around a little bit, you know, taking some of the people's coordinates on the forums, and some screenshots just to try and predict where he would be. He was, I would say, about 100 or so meters away from where I thought he would be. I eventually found him, and yeah, he ended up having the same stats as the others, and I would say he wasn't very difficult, really. I think the Vixen was slightly more challenging than this guy. I think what was more annoying was the other mobs that were in this area just getting in the way of me trying to find him. Thankfully, they didn't really aggro at all while I was hunting him. So yeah, that was the Thor Divine based in Tulan. So the next mob in the Divine series is the Koldun Divine, and this little chappie is based on Arcadia. Again, coordinates are overlaid. He's in the drill rig PvP area as opposed to lootable. Yeah, this guy, he was not that difficult to find for me, purely because I had the coordinates already from other members on the forum, and so I went there and I saw someone was already waiting there. I think it was Toast, but I can't remember specifically. But they were already waiting there, so I just said hi, said see you later, and logged out. And basically, when I logged back in the next morning, there he was. So I just spawned and shot the guy. The Koldun, he was a bit more wild than some of the other mobs. It's a bit more tough to actually take down, and in fact he actually killed me at one point, so I ended up having to go back because he managed to luck me with a crit. That's never really very handy. This one, he spawns every 6 hours, and just going back to the Thor Divine, or the Divine Thor, that one apparently spawns instantaneously, although I did not observe that. I didn't stick around to see if that happened, because I wanted to fly over to Arcadia. So yeah, the Koldun, Arcadia's divine mob, yeah, every 6 hours, and once again the stats are similar with all the other mobs. Now the only thing that seems to differ with the mobs is perhaps their damage types, and you can see he crits me once again. Yes, the Koldun was a bit of a tough beast, it has to be said. Next up is the Cyrene Divine Golem, and the Divine Golem is way up there in the lootable PvP zone. The Divine Golem has a different appearance to a normal Golem. Once again, exactly the same stats. Coords are overlaid on the screen. This guy, he was just sat there. I don't know what the respawn is on this one. Perhaps if I find out later, I'll overlay that on the video. This guy, he wasn't very difficult at all. In fact, yeah, one of the easiest ones to actually take down. So, yeah, that was the Cyrene Divine Golem. And this little guy gave me a nice little 270 odd ped global. And the final mob was the Divine Proton, or Proton Divine. There doesn't seem to be any consistent naming policy for these divine creatures. The Proton is a particularly difficult one to find. Many of us have spent days and days hanging around in the Raven Valley PvP zone. Coordinates are overlaid, just waiting for this creature to appear. And of course, you know, once it appears, someone gets it, doesn't say a word, and then you don't know how much longer you're going to have to wait for it. Basically, the respawn time seems to be around, you know, between 6 and 10 hours. It's got to be in there somewhere. We're not 100% sure right now, but yeah, it's been a difficult one, this one. The stats exactly the same as all the others, but the damage is, I think, Proton damage. So yeah. You can expect that to be fairly tricky to battle with. I found him a little bit more of a challenge than a lot of the others, but eventually I took the Blighter down and managed to complete all of the creatures in the Divine Intervention mission, which then means I could move on to the last point. And as you can see, I'm back at the space station. This one is the Calypso space station. And I'm just going to set down the craft. And yeah, still take damage for a 5-foot fall. Brilliant. I'm just going to run my way over to Hone, who lives up here in the space station. And what we're going to do is we're going to go and have a quick chat to him and complete this divine bonus mission. So, yeah, let's hit this button. And there we go. We have the Divine Intervention chip. All that really remains for us to do now is to head back to the planet and give the chip a test. And before we do that, I want to just quickly look at the what's this? I've never seen one of those before. I must have looted it off that Proton. Yeah, let's just have a look at the stats on this one. So we can see that it takes 300 mind essence, so that's 3 peck. Gives us 50 points strength of divine intervention, which and lasts for an hour if we don't use it. So kinda useful. So I am here at the Mastermech's Ravager and Devastator spawn, and I'm being aggroed straight away. Let's just get some healing on the go. So I'm going to use this Divine Intervention chip. Now, what this actually does is it gives you a chance to evade death. It gives you 50 healing points. And there is a 70% probability that you will succeed. So you really want to be using this on mobs that are a little bit above your pay grade, so to speak. So now I think I have this now on me, so to speak. So yeah, there's a 30% chance this thing is not going to work, and you just die. Let's just check we've got there. Yeah, Divine Intervention. It lasts for an hour, and like I said, it will give you 50 points of healing when it revives you. So I'm just going to let this mob kill me eventually. Come on, you noob. There we go. And that's just worked. So it just gave me 50 points of healing there. So there's also another use again, other than against tough mobs that are a little bit punching above your weight, and that is when you're in PvP basically. And the greatest strength it's going to have is when you're running around and you don't see the enemy, but they see you, and basically if they one-shot you with something like a Tango or a Soul Screamer, you have a chance to evade that death and come back fighting. So right now those are the two main uses I can see for the actual Divine Intervention chip. But if you've got any further uses that you reckon it's good for, then please let me know in the comments. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much it. So we've been basically trying to get this chip, and we now have the chip. I'm just going to enable it again and continue whacking this Ravager that I'm failing to... Oh, effect over time failed. I'm wondering if actually... There we go. Now it's worked. Now I'm wondering actually whether the effect over time is the thing that's got a 70% success rate. So yeah, I think that might be the problem there then. So we'll have to see. I'll probably confirm in the comments later. But it looks like it might be the actual activation that has the 70% probability. Or it could be that I was just being hit. So I'll need to check that. And there we go, that finished him off. So together with the adjusted restoration chip, the Divine Intervention chip is just another level of protection you can offer yourself to help you, help you on in hunting big creatures, big game. Or alternatively, it's a tool to evade death in PvP. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. If you did, don't forget to hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And don't forget to share the video around so we can get more in our little community. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video. Bye bye for now.